Hi guys. I've been asked in messages and email to see if I could either write or do a video about processed-free glutamate and how it affects me, my symptoms. Processed-free glutamate you may not recognize, but you will recognize the names aspartame and monosodium glutamate. Those are the two big ones. I'm also sensitive to GMO corn, so they tend to cross over because sometimes citric acid can be made from GMO corn, or it can be made from something that turns like monosodium glutamate or processed-free glutamate, excuse me, and that will cause a reaction. These ingredients are part of a group called excitotoxins. Excitotoxins are bad for several reasons, but the main reason is that they're one of the few things that will actually cross the blood-brain barrier. And excitotoxins will, after they cross that, they go straight for the glutamate receptors in your brain, which is why a lot of people with sensitivities to these ingredients get massive headaches. This is actually happening to everybody, whether they feel the effects or not. You are actually getting damaged by these ingredients. So I would highly encourage everyone to stop ingesting them if at all possible. I have the PDF listed on the blog, but I'll link it below also. That is just that PDF of ingredients and names for processed-free glutamate is just the beginning, because we've also discovered it can be on fruit coatings that keep them fresh for the store. Some people can spray something on like apples or grapes, and they can be under conventional or organic. It doesn't matter. We know, unfortunately, too late, even with washing a lot of the fruits and vegetables, we learned too late that something is is on there that we've ingested. Rice is not something people would expect. I have washed rice 10 times and still react to it, so I've pretty much given up on it. I have not tried the rice that I showed in a previous video yet. I need to do that soon. But it's hard because you can't eat processed foods at all. Like, even a can of organic ravioli, I have to read through it. I don't technically eat that, my daughter does, but I have to read through it and make sure. And even then, if it's not listed on the ingredients list, it might still be in there because of the way the labeling laws are. We looked at turkey that said no MSG. However, it was injected with a flavor broth. Commercially prepared broths, I have yet to find one that does not have a form of MSG or processed-free glutamate in it. It's very frustrating because I can't always make broth, and if I don't have it, there's, gravy and things like that. It's hard to make for certain foods. And my husband loves to have gravy with his potatoes, and I can make him packaged gravy, but I'd rather not because I know what he's eating and the rest of the family is eating. Especially my kids. I don't want them eating this stuff after I know what it does to the human body. Why would I want to give it to them? But it's been a huge learning curve. There are just so many different things. I mean, anything hydrolyzed will be processed-free glutamate, and you obviously can't have that. Add in the GMO corn thing, and anything with citric acid. It could be made from GMO corn. It could be made from something that will cause a reaction to processed-free glutamates. It's a pain in the butt. So we have to be really careful between the GMO thing and the MSG thing and the soy thing. We have to be extremely careful what we eat and what we feed our animals, because we will react to meat. And I've gotten into disagreements with people who raise beef. They say, oh no, that's impossible. But I tell them, you go look online and you do research and see how many Crohn's patients react to grain-fed beef. And these are people who are told by their doctors that they won't react to it, and they do. And we do as well. Which is why we have started raising our own food. Now, as far as the symptoms go, a lot of people with Crohn's or IBS have been, not all of them, some of them actually do have IBS or Crohn's, but a good many of them have been misdiagnosed, and they are actually processed-free glutamate sensitive. What happens if I ingest it varies from mild to severe. It all depends on how much I've ingested. This is not an allergy. This is not something I can take a Benadryl for. This is not, and same for my daughter with soy. We're going to do a video on soy at a later date with her when she has time to do it. This is a poisoning. This is an overload on the body. Excuse me. It is, there are no tests for this. The allergist that we used to have informed us that even though I'd already discovered it through an elimination diet, he told me that was actually the only way to discover either of these is an elimination diet and figure out what sets you off and what doesn't. The night that I pretty much had the heart attack was the turning point. And I spent days, and I'm not talking an hour each day, I'm talking several, 4, 5, 6 hours or more a day researching as much as I possibly could. And that night was the turning point, and all the research I did after that was the turning point. And I actually finally had a day where I wasn't sick. I can't even describe, after being sick for so many years, I cannot describe how good that felt. But anyhow, back to the symptom thing. As I said before, mild to severe, depending how much I've eaten. The first indication that I've had MSG or processed-free glutamates is my face begins tingling. Like a limb that falls asleep and starts waking up. The tingling can go from mild to feeling like ants are crawling right under my skin all over my face, which is a horrible feeling, just so you know. Then I will get a headache because it has crossed the blood-brain barrier and gone into the brain and is going after the receptors. The headache, again, mild to migraine, depending how much I've ingested. I get black spots in front of my eyes. In severe cases, I feel like there's something pushing on the inside of my eyes, like they're trying to push my eyeballs out of my face, which that's a very, very uncomfortable feeling. I will feel, sometimes I don't feel nauseous at all. Other times I will be on the verge of losing everything I just ate. And this is all within 30 to 45 minutes of eating. My symptoms are not the same as other people's symptoms. Everyone it all varies. Everybody's different.
Some people can eat all this stuff and don't feel anything, even though it is damaging them. They don't feel it. I'm just happen to be one of the ones who do feel it. After the whole headache thing, depending how bad it is, it can last anywhere from a couple hours to all night. We tried a new restaurant one time. Couldn't find anything that would make me sick. The wait staff couldn't find anything. And obviously they were wrong. I was driving, and halfway home I was trying not to throw up in the car. It got to the point where I almost had to pull over and have my daughter drive us the rest of the way. Now the next morning, I might feel fine, or I might feel almost like hungover. By that afternoon, if it was dinner, it's about a 17 to 19 hour time frame after I've eaten, I will have the runs. Sorry to be indelicate, but there's no other word for it other than explosion. In a severe case, I'm severe stomach cramps in the bathroom. I cannot leave the house. It can last anywhere from 2 or 3 hours to all day. It all depends. And if the last time I hit almost maximum, my heart went nuts. And the doctor pretty much said, wow, I guess my phone decided I recorded long enough and shut me off there, so I'll have to join these two together and finish the video. Sorry about that. I didn't realize I was talking that long. So real quick, before it does it again, bathroom trips all the next day. And then I just basically feel horrible. And no energy. I don't want to do anything. Usually it can last anywhere from 24 to 48 hours. After that, I'm usually okay again, unless I eat more. If I eat it again within a 24-hour time frame, the symptoms will become a lot worse. And it builds each time until, eventually I could die. The doctor has told me that I need to carry a medical alert bracelet with me and actually wear it. Right now it's in my back pocket because I was working with the goats, but he said actually wear it. And I have a goat who likes shiny things. She likes to try to eat it. That way, at least hopefully the medical personnel in any type of emergency, if I'm unconscious, they can see that I should not have this stuff. My concern is that a lot of medical people I've talked to around here don't get it. They don't understand it. They don't take it seriously. And I'm really afraid that if I landed in the hospital, they would most likely kill me. So anyhow, those are my symptoms. If you think that you are MSG or processed-free glutamate sensitive, start researching it and cutting it out of your diet. That's the only way to find out. And once it's out of your diet, if you start feeling better, you're probably sensitive, and just keep researching and keep cutting it out as much as you can. And if you're like me and hate to cook, oh geez, that makes it so much harder. It really does. But anyhow, now that I've droned on quite a bit, hopefully you understand a little bit more. You understand a little bit better. And we'll see you next time. Bye.